Alright, so good afternoon once again, grade 6. So, as usual, before we start, let us have this short opening prayer. Would you mind to lead the prayer, Recto?
Are you ready to play, classmates?
Yes, we
Yes, we
are.
are.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. Lord, we offer you everything we do today, all our works, our joys, and our sorrows. Everything will be an act of love for you. Holy Mary, Saint Joseph, Saint Joachim, and Saint Anne, and guardian angel, intercede for me so that I may be deserved to help and save today and always. Verenda Pilar, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Alright, so thank you for that one, Recto. Alright, so as I'm saying a while ago, this will be a session wherein we'll be recording this lesson meant for the lesson of finding the missing term in the proportion. Okay? Finding the missing term in proportion. So, finding the term in the proportion among this class, do you have any idea if there is, no? If there is missing term, do you have any idea how are we going to find that one? None? Alright, so here's what we could have. Now, so, in finding term in proportion, no? Isn't it that in our past discussion about the ratio, some of you a while ago I did teach, ano, I did taught you about the ratio for the whole and parts, no? As well as for the 6A, no? But in here, what if, no? What if your proportion has a missing term, no? So if we have a missing term in our proportion, usually, what we do is to represent that missing term as a variable. Are you aware with the variable? No? Alright. So if you say variable, a variable is a representation of any numbers. No? So in this proportion, let us have a representation for the missing term as n. Okay? So let us have an example. Alright, so finding the term in proportion, here's an example. Okay, so we have an example of n is to 3 is equal or proportion to 10 is to 5. Okay, so this is a proportion, but there is a missing term, which is n is the unknown variable. Okay, now if we have this unknown variable, that is the one that we are going to find. That is the one that we are going to find, no? Because that is the missing piece. Now, how are we going to find that unknown variable or unknown term? Okay, so here's how. Okay, step 1 is to write the proportion in fraction form. I know, no? I know that all of you knows how to make it in fraction form. Isn't it that we discussed that in ratio there are two ways to uh, express the ratio. First is for the statement form or the horizontal form, followed with the other form which is fraction form. Isn't it? So once we make it in fraction form, okay, what is the step 2? Step 2, Sir Jai. Our step 2 is to multiply the extremes and the means. Okay, so just like what we are doing, isn't it? What we are doing in knowing if the two ratios are proportion to each other, isn't it? That we discussed. In order for us to find if the two ratios are proportion is to look if they are equal. By what means? By cross product. What is the second method? Isn't it that we have three methods? The first method is by cross product. The second method is simplification or simplifying the ratios, isn't it? Next is, what's the next? Next is what? by the product of means and extremes. And this is the one are we going to use. That's the one that we're going to use, ha? So, when we have the fraction form already, we're going to multiply the extremes and means. What are the extremes and means? Isn't it that in statement forms, it is written as 10 is to 3 and or equals 10 is to 15, isn't it? So our means is this one, and this is our extremes, isn't it? So in this case, we are going to multiply 3 by 10 and n by 15. So it's just like if that is mean and this is our extremes. So it means no, it's just like we are going to multiply the extremes, and this is our mean, isn't it? That's how all right. So if we are going to multiply, isn't it that we discovered that multiplying extremes and means are similar to cross product. It's just that the difference is it is when the form of that ratio is in fraction form, isn't it? All right. So if this is our extremes and this is our means, so n multiplied by 15, this asterisk is multiplied, ha? N multiplied by 15 is equal to 15 times n. Remember, how do we multiply a number to a variable? So, if we have variable and a constant, constant number, we multiply them, it will become 15 and n or 15n. Okay? Now, we get the values of extremes. This is our extremes. How about for means? We have 10 multiplied by 3. So, it will become 10 multiplied by 3. So, 10 times 3, the answer is 30. Okay? So, for our extremes, we have the value of 15n. And our means, we have the value of 30. Okay? Now, if we have the value already, what is the third step? What's the next step, Sir Jai? The third step is divide both sides of the equation by 15. Okay? Alright, so 15, why are we going to divide both sides by 15? The coefficient of the variable. In algebra, okay, in algebra, there is what you call expression. If we say expression is composed of variables and coefficients. Okay? When we say coefficients, these are the numbers that are beside the variables. What are variables? Variables can be represented to letters. Letters. These are the variables. So the coefficient are beside with the variables. So if this is your variables, if for example your variable is letter x, your coefficient is a number. Okay, so it could be 15 or 3 or whatsoever. So whatever the number beside the variable is what we call coefficient. Okay, gets already? Alright, so the question is, Sir Jai, why are we going to divide the coefficient or 15 by both sides? Why? Because what are we finding in the first place? The one that we are finding is the n. This is the only thing that we need, isn't it? So, if we cancel 15, let's try to cancel, ha. If we cancel 15, 15 divided by 15, we divide both sides by 15. This is the rule, ha. Whatever you do in your left side, you do it in your right side, and vice versa. Okay? When you divide left side, you divide right side. When you add left side, you add right side. Okay? So, same goes by vice versa. So that it would be equal. That's why when we say equal, whatever you do in your left hand, you do it in your right hand. So, it could be equal. Okay, so we divide it both sides by 15 in order for it will be cancelled. Or how it will be cancelled? 15 divided by 15. What would be the answer? The answer is 1. The answer is 1. Now, if we have 1, it will become 1n. And 1, please remember this one, in expression or algebra, this is going for grade 7 already, You're about to enter high school. Please listen. Listen, Vince. Please listen. When we say expression, isn't it that we have coefficient and variables? Our variables can be represented in any letters, isn't it? Or let's just say letter A. Your coefficient, any number, isn't it? We could say that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatsoever, isn't it? But if you just write simply as variable and you don't have coefficient, automatically, if you just input or write a variable only, there is always invisible 1. Please remember, there is always invisible 1. Okay? Are you following? Now, when we cancel, no? When we cancel both 15, because they are just equivalent to 1, isn't it? 1. So, it will become 1n. So, we could just simply tell it as n, isn't it? Okay, Now, when we say n already, what number or what value do we have in our right side? 30 over 15, of course. Now, if we have 30 over 15, what is the value of 30 divided by 15? 30 divided by 15. The value? The value is 2. Correct. So, therefore, yes, it is written already. No? So, the value is 2. No? Now, we could say that the value of our n is equal to 2. Gets? So, now, we already got the what? Value of that missing term. Because n is our unknown variable. We don't know this one, isn't it? That is the term that we are looking for. Isn't it? This is the one. So, when we when we go forward, and look for the final answer, our n is equal to 2 already. Now, what is the next step, Sir Jai? What's the next step? The next step is for checking. How are we going to check? We're going to replace the value of n. What's the value of n? 2. We're going to replace the 2 to the n. What is our term a while ago? It is n is to 3 is equal to 10 is to 15. Isn't it? That is the one that we have. That is a given. The first place. So we are going to replace 2 to the value of n because the value of n is 2. Now it will be 2 is to 3 is equal to 10 is to 15. Just like this one. So we could say that they are or that is a proportion. Okay? Now we could have already the value of this proportion. Okay? Are they complete? Complete. No. Alright. Sige po. So, let's try. Let's try. Let's practice, Alright. So, example number 1. This is a problem solving already. So, example number 1. The ratio of the number of boys and girls. The ratio, boys and girls. What is our first term? Boys. Our second term is girls. Okay? Now, if the ratio of the number of boys and girls is 4 is to 3, no? If there are 18 girls in a class, so 18, this is for girls, this is for boys. This is 18. Okay? If there are 18 girls in a class, find the number of boys. Okay, so how are we going to find the number of boys? Let's say this is for girls, isn't it? This is G, and this is B. We have the value of girls, which is 18, and we don't have yet the value of boys. So let's just put the value of boys as of the moment as n, because that is the missing number. N as in number, okay? Now, that is the um, number of boys that we don't know. And that is our goal, okay? Find the number of boys in the class. And what else? The total number of the students. So aside from that one, we are going to add the values of these two. Okay, so how are we going to do that one? First, no? First, first is to write your given. Okay, to have the representation. Please remember this one, ha. Take note. Representation. Let us tell, no, that B is for the boys. Okay, B is for the boys. And let us tell that T is the total number of students. Okay? So these two are the missing ones. Okay? So what's the next step is to write it down in a ratio form. So we are going to equate already by how? Since the ratio of the boys and girls are 4 is to 3, we could now simply copy the value that we have in the first place, which is 18, isn't it? So we have 18 for girls, which is this one, isn't it? 4 is to 3. This is for the girls, and this is for the boys. Why? Because boys are the first term. That's the first given. First. Girls is the second. Second. So therefore, this is our first, this is our second. This is our boys, this is our girls. So therefore, if that is a proportion, you have two ratios, isn't it? Isn't it that in proportion there are two equal ratios? So you have two equal ratios, which is 4 is 3. This is your boys, this is your girls. So same goes by. This is the boys, this is the girls. What is the value of your girls? What is the number? 18. So, your boys will be letter B. Why? Let B the number of boys. Let's just say, ha. So, you already have this equation. Okay, that's your equation. 43. 4 is to 3 is equal to B is to 18. Okay? Are you following? Okay po. Sige po. Alright, so to continue, ha. Now we have 4 is to 3 is equal to B is to 18. We could now go to our next step. What's the next step, Sir Jai? Our next step is to use the proportion 4 is to 3 is equal to B is to 18, and we are going to solve for B. How are we going to solve for B? Just like what we did a while ago, we are going to write in fraction form. That is in fraction form, isn't it? After we put it in fraction form, we could now apply the cross product property, just like what we did a while ago, isn't it? So, once we apply the cross product property, we could now see the values. No, what are the given fractions when we apply the cross product? Isn't it that it's 4 over 3 is equal to B to 18. So if you're going to cross product, 4 multiplied by 18, 3 multiplied by B. Okay? Now, once we have that one, we could now multiply 4 times 18. 4 times 18 is what? 4 times 18 is 72. Okay? Now, we have 3B. What is the missing term? The boys, the number of boys, which is B. So are we going to cancel B? No. We're going to cancel 3. Why? Because that is not the one that we are looking for. We are looking for B. That should be the one will be left in that side. We have left and right. It should be that the B is the only one will be remaining into that side. Now, we have 72 is equal to 30, 72 is equal to 3b, no? What are we going to do in here is to remove the b. How are we going to remove? We divide. Okay, we divide both sides. So, it will become just like this. 72 is equal to 3b. We're going to divide both sides by 3. In order for us to remove the 3, cancel. Because 3 divided by 3 is what? 1. Any number, you divide it to itself, then the value or the answer is 1. Alright, so we could now have 72 over 3 is equal to b. That's the one that was left, isn't it? Okay. Now, this is the one how we divide by 3 and we cancel the 3. Okay? And therefore, we could have 72 divided by 3 is equal to b. And in order for us to find the value of b, we divide this 2. No? 72 divided by 3, the answer is 24. Okay? You want to manual division? 72 divided by 3. How many 3 do you have in 7? You have 2. 2 times 3, the answer is 6. Bring down 1 and 2. So how many 3 do you have in 12? You have only 4. So therefore, you have 24. Okay? It is 24 is equal to b. Or we could just say b is equal to 24. Okay? Now, we know what is the total number of the boys. Isn't it? What are the givens? What are the givens? The given are the number of girls is 18. The boys is what? 24. And we are finding as well as the total number. So what is the total number? Total number is what's the total number? 42. Correct. So our total number is 42 and the number of boys is 24. That's it. Okay? You look at this presentation, ha. B is equal to 24. That is the number of boys, ha. This is the number of boys. Then we are going to add this number to the number of girls in order for us to find the total number. No? So T is equal to 18 plus B. That's the equation. And we substitute the value of B. What's the value of B? 24. Okay, in that case, we have 42. Alright, so in that case, that is the final answer. This is how we conclude. Conclusion. Remember, in your PETA, you have conclusion. Therefore, there are 24 boys in a class and the total number of students is 42. Gets? That's how we find the end or the missing term in our proportion. Alright. So let's have this given. Okay. So let's have this one. So Jason cuts a 36 centimeter rope into 2 pieces. 36 centimeter 36 centimeter into 2 pieces. So he divides the rope into 2. If this is 36, he divides the rope to 2, so it will become what? Sige po. Sige po. It will become what? 18 each. 18 and 18, isn't it? But did 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 the given says that Jason cut the rope in equal parts? No. It was not stated that Jason cut the rope in equal parts. So it means it could be 17 and 19. Isn't it? Or it could be 16 and 20. Isn't it? Okay, so what are we going to do in here? Just to put the given first. Okay, so we have 36 centimeter rope into 2 pieces. That is the totality, totality of the length. 36 centimeter. 36 centimeter. Now, if the ratio of the shorter piece to the longer piece is 2 is to 7. 2 is to 7. The shorter piece to the longer piece, which is our first term. What is our first term? Our first term is
The
what?
shorter piece.
Shorter piece, correct. So, this is our shorter piece, and the longer piece is 7. Okay. Now, we have the shorter piece and the longer, S and L. Okay. Now, the question is, what is the length of the longer piece? What is the length of this one? So, in order for us to find this 2 and 7, no, let's just say that uh, this is the totality. This is the one that we are finding, the longer piece. Okay? This is the longer piece. And this is our shorter piece. There is a length for your longer piece. And there is a length for your shorter piece. And in total, there are 36 centimeters. So how are we going to find? We're going to find with this first step. What is the first step? To representation. So let us say that 2x be the length for shorter piece. Let's say 2x be the length of shorter piece. Shorter piece. 2. Okay, let's just use 2. And 7x be the length of longer piece. Okay, so we know it's 2 is to 7, isn't it? Alright, so in representation, if this is a proportion, you have 2 missing uh, given, isn't it? 2 missing given, isn't it? So in representation, a variable could be any letter. So let's just say they are both x. Okay, they are just both x. Now, in this one, in proportion, you could say that they are equal to each other. How can you say that it was 2x and 7x? If we are going to convert that one in fraction form, it will be 2 over 7 is equal to x multiplied by x. And we say that by cross product, they are equal, isn't it? So it is 2x and 7x. Get? That's why we get the representation. Now, from the shorter piece, which is 2x and 7x, what are we going to do in order for us to know what is the value of x? Because that is the one which is missing, isn't it? So we are going to what? Find the representation, and we are done with that, which is 7 and 2x, 7x and 2x. We are going to write the equation, which is 2x plus 7x, isn't it? Because we said that in totality of the two values of x's, no, the values are 36 centimeter. 36 centimeter. Okay, centimeter. And with that, no, how are you going to know, no, the value of x because it is missing? It's missing. Please kindly listen because this is somewhat related already in your high school. Alright, so how are you going to find x? But this is the equation. Please remember this equation, no? So, in order for us to find the x, no, let's have this solution, no? So, let's just say your equation is 2x plus 7x is equal to 36. When we add 2x to 7x, the value would be 9x. Or how did it become, sir? It is possible? Yes, it is possible. In expression, in algebra, no? If your variable is has the same what else one? Has the same letter or representation or variable, if they have the same variable, we can add them. For example, uh, 2x plus 3x. The answer is 5x. Okay, 5x. But if we have 2x plus 3y, we cannot add them because they have different variables or representation. So it means it really depends on the variable. Okay? Now, when we add these two variables already, we get the value of 9x, isn't it? Because they have the same variable. Okay, so when we got 9x, yes, different word. No, so you need to really, you need to listen really. No, 9x, we already got the 9x, no, and it became as 9x is equal to 36. Okay, so having the 9x is equal to 36, what are we going to do? We're going to find the value of x, or we are going to solve for x. How are we going to solve? We are going to divide both sides by 9. 9. Alright, so whatever you do in your left side, if you divide also in your right side. And with that, we could now cancel both 9s in your left side as it is equal to 1. Why? 9 divided by 9, the value is 1. Alright? So it will become 1x is equal to 36x. Or, again, in a variable, if you don't have any coefficient, it could be just simple as your variable. Or, x is equal to 36. Okay? Alright. So let's just simplify. No? It's 36 already, isn't it? 36, I'm sorry. X is equal to 36 over 9. Okay? Then, when you have 36 over 9 already, what are we going to do? We substitute the value of 36 over 9. 36 divided by 9, what is the value? 36 divided by 9 is, what's the answer? What's the answer? The answer is 4. 36 divided by 9, the answer is 4. Therefore, we could have the value of x is equal to 4. Okay? Now, when we have the value of x, that is x is equal to 4, we are now going to substitute the value of x's to the given that we have. What is the given that we have? It is 2x plus 7x is equal to 36, isn't it? We're going to substitute all the values of x. So it means all of your x's will become 4. You're going to exchange or substitute. Now, if you say substitute, you change that variable to whatever value it has. No? So the value of your x is 4. And it will become 2 multiplied by 4 plus 7 multiplied by 4 is equal to 36. No? Alright, so here we go. No? In PEMDAS, we discussed this one last time. 2 multiplied by 8, the answer is 2 multiplied by 8. 2 multiplied by 4, the answer is 8. No? Then, copy the operation. 7 multiplied by 4, the answer is 28. And with that, we could now have, no? 8 plus 28, the answer is 36. So, are they equal? Yes, they are equal. Or, you could just simply state with this um, form, no? We have x is equal to 4. We simplify that one, and we substitute the value of x to the longer piece of the rope. Isn't it that we have longer piece and shorter piece? So, if we have 2x is for shorter, and we have longer x, of course. So, we just substitute for the longer x, a longer piece. So, it will become 7x, and it will become 7 times 4. Okay? Then, with that, we have 28 centimeters. Did we answer the question? What is the length of the longer piece? Yes. No? So, we were able to find the length of the longer piece of the rope. Okay? So, therefore, this is the conclusion. Therefore, the length of the longer piece is 28 centimeter. That is the conclusion. Okay? Alright po. Sige po. And with that ha, let's try. You type in the comment section whatever your answer. Okay? So that I could assess you. Are you ready? Yes po. Please be quick. Are you ready? Yes. How about the others? Only Lorenzo? Alright. So let's try ha. Okay po. Sige. For you to have assessment within yourself, try to write in a piece of paper, try to assess ha. So later you could check whatever is the right thing. Na? Sige po. Alright, so this is the following question. The direction, no? Answer the following question, choose the letter of your answer. Okay? Alright. So, number 1, it is an equation or statement used to represent those two ratios or fractions are equal. A ratio, B proportion, C algebraic expression, D algebraic equation. What is the answer? The answer in here is, how about the others? D, B? Alright, so the answer in here is proportion. No? Again, please take note ha, it is an equation or statement. Okay? Statement. Okay? Used to represent what? Two ratios are equal. Okay? Sige po. Number 2. Let's try. It is a comparison between or relating of two different things. A ratio, B proportion, C algebraic expression, D algebraic equation. Correct. The right answer is letter A. Correct. Alright, so the correct answer is letter A. Now, number 3. These are the methods showing two ratios or proportion. Except, what are the methods? Letter A, by simplifying ratios. B, cross product. C, by product of means and extremes. D, by finding the term in proportion. What's the answer? Okay. Final answer? A, really? Again,
Yes.
kindly read the question. This, these are the methods. Okay? Okay? Showing two ratios or proportion. Except what? Except what? Oh, what is the correct answer? Except, you sure B? The answer is, it's not A, B, or C. The answer is D. Why? What are the methods that we have in order for us to know whether it is proportion or not? So, the methods are by simplifying the ratios, cross product, and by product of means and extremes. The question is, except. What is the exceptional answer in here? Okay? Kindly look out for that ha. Next, number 4. All of the equation is a proportion except A, 9 over 48 and 12 over 64. B, 42 over 3 and 30 over 5. C, 4 over 36 and 1 over 9. D, 18 over 27 and 2 over 3. What's the correct answer? That's the correct answer. Keep thinking, B. Alright, so the correct answer is B. No? Alright, so this A, C, and D are proportion. Why? By this one, no? If you will notice, what are the proportionals? What are the things that we could see? That they are really proportion. They use different methods. Okay? Oh, you should practice. Okay? I know you can do that one. Alright? So, but in letter B, we do have 42 over 3 and 30 over 5. And we know that by 3 and 5, there are no such significance between them. No? Even in 42 and 30. Okay? Last, all of the equation is a ratio except A, 14 is to 16, 14 is to 6, B, 4 is to 74, C, 12 is to 3, D, 2 is to 17. What's the answer? Sige po. It's time already, I know. But before we leave, what is the answer? You think? D? Oh, what? D? You sure? This is the one, ha? In exam, there is no correct answer. Therefore, you just write the correct answer. Here, all of the givens are ratio. Isn't it? That ratio is the comparison of two what? Two different things. So they compare both sides, isn't it? They compare two quantities. So therefore, all of them are ratio. Okay? Tricker. Okay? Alright. Huh? Alright. So with that, let's have an assignment. Okay? So what are the assignment? Our assignment is to review. Okay? Only that one. Alright? So that is our assignment, is to review and make yourself more comfortable in simplifying the fractions. Okay? So with that, please don't leave yet. Okay? So this is a recorded video. And for those who are watching this recorded video, I do hope that you learned something a lot. Thank you for watching. And please be safe always. Thank you. Bye.